Enabling a better tomorrow strategy. Now that we've gotten through the understanding components, it's time to move on to talking about the strategy that's developed. And the strategy is actually in the initial situation portion. We talked about the ideal alternative, what it is that you really want to bring into existence as opposed to this current situation the way it is. And the strategy is simply a definition of what you intend to do to get from A to B. Though there are a number of things that it's appropriate to take into account. So we talked about the boundary, and I said that yes, the boundary is in the understanding segment, but it's also in the strategy segment because you need to understand the extent of the pieces of the puzzle that you're in a position to affect and leverage. How is it, in what ways are you going to alter the existing network of interactions to cause them to create a new pattern of behavior that results in the situation that you propose to be? And I'll do another video after this to talk about the various aspects of leverage because it's rather involved. Then there's a question of the time frame over which you intend to do this transition from A to B, and it's appropriate that when you put together the strategy, you understand the resources that are available to work with, so that you're talking about a time frame that's actually doable, considering the resources that are available and the finances available to work with. Now, what often happens more than not is that in the reason that the situation is such that one believes that it needs to be pursued is because there's some performance degradation within an organization. And because of that degradation, the perception is that a certain portion of the organization needs help. And in terms of help, they want there to be more accountability in terms of helping that organization get on track and stay on track to improve the performance. And that more accountability promotes an overload, which in fact actually just further degrades performance. So there's a fundamental attribution error in terms of with an attempt to help the organization get better at what it's doing, it actually makes the organization worse. Which is why it's so important, I talked about over here, that you understand the resources that it takes to implement the strategy that you develop. And the strategy is essentially a new network of interactions that has to be put into place by the stakeholders. And this component, the strategy development, like the understanding, needs to be put together by all of the relevant stakeholders because they're the ones that are responsible for the elements that have to be different or interact differently with other elements. And only they can, in fact, accomplish that. So they need to be involved in the strategy, put it together, and then be involved in the implementation of it. So this is a perspective on the development of the strategy, and in a few minutes we'll talk about the leverage component, which addresses the particular ways in which one can set about altering the network of interactions and what to expect from different changes to that network. So hope this has been informative. See you in the next video.